Another one that people talk about all the time is meditation. Is that something you guys practice day to day?
Absolutely, but not in the traditional sense of always sitting down and having 10 minutes with the little Calm app on my phone. I've found the practice of meditation in doing things that calm me, such as walking, riding my bike, just sitting, reading. Of course, the traditional method of meditation is powerful, but I found it in other ways as well.
Okay. What about you?
Nah.
Nah, zero is not your thing.
It's not that it's not my thing. It's that once you live a life that's in tune, you don't have to enter a state of meditation to get downloads and to receive information. You just operate in a way whereby your receiver of information is clear from all static. You can achieve a life like that. People have to go into the state of meditation because they live in Manhattan with the noise, the sound pollution, the crowds, the chaos, the energy, the 5G, all these different things, these stimulants. No wonder they have to literally unplug themselves fully. But when you constantly live in a state that's mindful of your environment, your energy, you don't have to enter a state of meditation. You live in it.
You know, one thing I like about you, Luke, I feel like mentally, you're very composed. You know, whenever you talk, whenever even I see you off camera, on camera, you're always very calm, very balanced. I feel like you're someone who has really good control of, you know, the things that you're thinking about, good control of your feelings. Is that something that's like innate? Or is that something you have to work on yourself? Or maybe, I don't know, like maybe you do have those thoughts and I don't know about it. Or like you are very, you know what I mean? What is it?
When you say something, make sure it counts for something.
Okay.
If you're going to expend energy talking, make sure that it's valuable.
Right.
If there's nothing to say, just shut the So I just operate in a way where if I have something to say, I say it, and I measure it by 3 metrics. Is it kind? Is it necessary? And is it true?
Yeah.
If it doesn't match all 3 categories, I'll most likely avoid it. It needs to be kind. And kind doesn't mean nice, like how people think kind. Is it necessary? Like, is it the right time to say this? Is it the right context? And is it true? And based off of that 3 metrics is kind of how I operate. So I think, is this kind, necessary, and true before I say something? If I think it filters through that, I voice it. So people need to have filtration systems and understand that the emotions that they feel throughout like a download of information or throughout a conversation or a disagreement, that emotion isn't you.
Yeah.
You are yourself experiencing an emotion. But you can place yourself as a third party viewing the emotion and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And is my response to the situation going to be kind? And is how I'm going to approach it necessary? And is what I'm going to say true? Because many times we deceive ourselves into believing that we have the right operation and mindset and that we're on the right side of the problem or the situation or the conversation. And many times we're not. So those are the metrics that I use on a mental basis.
Nice. It's good that you have this kind of system in place. And like what you said, I think it's very true about like, you need to realize like when you think I am angry, it's not that you are angry, but you're experiencing anger. Not that you're engulfed by the emotion. So that's a good mindset shift. What about you? What do you think?
We tend to label these things that happen to us in life as good or bad when they are just happening.
Oof,
and learning to accept them for what they are and not trying to change the reality of the world will bring you more peace than anything else.
Jordan, have I told you the story of the Chinese farmer?
Oh, I know the story of the Chinese farmer. Maybe the people don't know the story.
There was a Chinese farmer.
Yes.
And he had his position in the village, normal guy, had a family, had his cattle, and he had a horse that he loved. One day, the horse runs away. All the neighbors come, sad, hey, I'm so sorry that your horse was lost. It's such a terrible thing. And he said, I don't know if it's a terrible thing. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah.
The next day, the son arrives, riding in the horse. Everybody's like, oh, this is so great. My son was able to find the horse. This was an incredible situation. He's like, I don't know if it's an incredible situation. We'll tell tomorrow. The next day, the son is riding the horse that was found. That was a blessing. And he falls and he breaks his back. Everybody comes, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe this is bad luck. I can't believe you got the horse. This shouldn't have happened. I don't know if it's bad luck. We'll find out tomorrow. The next day, the army rolls in saying, we are recruiting everybody that's able to work under the age of 25 to come and serve at the army because we're going to war against the Mongolians. My son can't go. He broke his back. Everybody came in. Oh, it's a blessing. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. And that's how life works. It's not whether this thing is good or bad. It's how you interpret the situation and how you process the information and the worldview and perspective that you have towards something. I came from nothing. You came from nothing. How we perceived our situation versus...
I came from not much.
Very little.
Yeah.
But how you perceive your situation dictates your future. So if you perceive it, oh, poor me, I'm never going to get out. Oh, poor you, you'll never get out. But if you see, I'm at the bottom, all I have is potential and growth, and all I have is upside, then now you're excited. And all it is, it's a mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's the realization that you can. And like you said, most people don't trust themselves because the small compounding wins in their life don't exist. They do a thing in a burst, in a sprint,
Yeah.
and then they stop.
True.
If you can't trust your own word, how are you going to trust your decision making? How are you going to trust yourself as an individual? You yourself are a person. You have a relationship of trust with yourself. Most people don't trust themselves. Why? Because they don't keep their word.
To themselves.
Exactly. So you need to
Very
have
true.
compounding wins. Everything beautiful in life, everything comes from compound. Everything. Relationships, business,
Facts.
finance, health, everything is compounding. You don't want the burst and then to disappear into oblivion because you burnt out or things went south.
Consistency.
You want to grow. Consistency compounds. And when you realize that, it's next level, bro.
Life becomes more enjoyable because you're doing things.
You become successful, bro.
Yes.
We have real life proof.
Yeah, that's right. You're not doing it just to achieve something big. You're doing it because you actually are trying to build something great, and you're just doing it on a daily basis. So it's not about like, oh, I'm going to work for 3 weeks straight and then take a break. It's like, I'm going to do this every day, and we'll see what comes out of it.
Facts.
And you might end up achieving more than you ever dreamed.
Right. And I think as well, if you really think about your work sometimes as just looking at the output of it, you might get discouraged because you
Yeah.
feel like I've been doing this 3 weeks, I've not seen any results, or I've been doing this 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. But I think
Years even.
Years even sometimes. And I think it's important to realize that the work you do, although it may not be increasing the output, it's increasing your ability to do that work. So you're increasing that good trait that you have in yourself, that you're able to follow your routine, do that work. You're still improving.
You
your
know what
skills.
I've come to realize? Most people don't know the seeds that they plant. Let me explain. If I give you an apple seed
Yes.
and I tell you to plant it, what do you know will come from it? An apple tree. You know it because
Yeah.
I gave you an apple seed. So the question is, what if you could control and understand the seeds that you plant, therefore know the outcome?
Okay.
The Bible says it. You shall know them by what? Their fruits. So what is the evidence, right, as to how you operate in the things that you want? You are able to calculate the outcome of your life based off of understanding the seeds that you're inputting. Let me give you a very basic example. Most people here that are watching, they don't know anything about their taxes. They haven't even stopped to think about it, right? They don't understand how taxes are filed, what taxes you owe. They rely on what? An accountant. They rely on a third party to tell them the truth, right? So once you understand that you have to be self-actualized and autonomous, you begin to take life seriously. And I've come to realize that people haven't unlocked that. They're extremely dependent on others. And once shit hits the fan, there's nobody to count on except you and your own skill sets. So it's a wake-up call.
That's crazy and very true, honestly.